Hello everyone, Joanne with StampingInTheValley.com, and welcome to my craft room this weekend. Today we're going to be working with the Abstract Impressions bundle, and it bundles with the Springtime Impression Thinlit dies. This is an absolutely gorgeous set. I am actually featuring this in our July giveaways right here. Okay, this is my July giveaway. There's 2 free card kits. Just place a $25 online Stampin' Up! Order and I will send you these 2 free card kits. Please watch the video below and it will tell you all about these cards and how to put them together. And you also get the envelopes. So there are the giveaways for July. Now, what I wanted to do today to elaborate on what I'm sending you right here is this white. This is in Whisper White. Of course, this started out in Whisper White, and I colored it with the Stampin' Blends. Last weekend, I did my first Facebook Live video, and you can go to see that video on about coloring this with the Stampin' Blends. There's a link below, and it'll say Facebook. Please like my Facebook page if you like my videos. I sure would appreciate it. But you can see the live video of how I started to color these. So I just started doing work with this Thinlit, and I am just in love with it, I have to admit. So many possibilities. I'm still using the Cascade though, but I do want to do some cards where I cut it out and use different parts of it. Here's the inside that I did. If flowers were hugs, I'd send you 1,000. I love that. And I did that in Pear Pizzazz. And then I did this in Berry Burst. Okay? But for this card, I went to my color coach right here. And remember, if you order from me, I'm just printing these off of my computer. They're free, guys. I don't charge for these. I'm going to send you the 2 color coaches of the in colors, okay? And so I went to Berry Burst. And I used Berry Burst, Granny Apple Green, and Smoky Slate, okay, to create this next little element. So if you order from me, I will send you a color coach along with your free card kits. And I just keep a list of who has ordered and gotten the color coach so that you won't get multiples of it. But here I started one of these again. And I started to color it with my Stampin' Blends. Very beautiful, okay? But I stopped because I wanted a different effect. So I will finish this, but for this card, I wanted a different effect. Our base is Berry Burst, and it is 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5 1/2. It opens like this. Whenever I do a card base that is a color, I add an insert right here of Whisper White, and that piece is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I like to use that size for the inserts. Okay, so and then here is our Whisper White envelope, and I've already stamped it with our flower from the Abstract Impression stamp set. So let's move that aside for just a moment, and this also, and let's work with our insert. So what we're going to do, because the color coach, and I'm going to color this, okay, haha, look at that, isn't that beautiful? Didn't that come out nice? I sponged this with Berry Burst, Granny Apple Green, and Smoky Slate, and that's what we're going to work on today with this piece, okay? So look at how beautiful, guys, that came out. I loved where I added the Smoky Slate in here and then daubed a little bit of the Berry Burst on there in the centers, and I love the way it just kind of, I don't know, it's like a chalky blend into itself, almost, I don't know how to call it, you know, but it's almost like an ombre effect of different color. I love this. I love the Stampin' Blends, I really do, and they're bold, but this is just delicate and soft. That's the best I can explain it. Okay, so we're going to go into our Granny Apple Green, and this is a new stamp pad, okay? So this pad opens like a makeup compact. Open, and then slide it, okay? And we're going to, inside, we're going to put our little saying, if flowers were hugs, I'd send you 1,000. So right into our Granny Apple Green, and I'm just going, the other one I used Pear Pizzazz. Just going to do that. That's perfect. Okay, and then our little flower down here in our Berry Burst. This is very simple. You just get a little scrap paper. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side here. Let me get everything out of the way. Okay, put this right here off to the side. And I put just this flower. It's just a two-step flower. I've used it before in a video. But you want the solid one first. Okay, the more dense one. I go into my Berry Burst and I'm stamping it off on the side here 2 times to get my ink off of it twice. And then I'm going to come down here and stamp. The first one, the solid one, you want it the lighter color. Okay, then you're going to take the one that pairs with it, and it's more spaced out. And the only thing with this is that I line the middle up. I line nothing else up because it's abstract. So you take this with your ink on it and stamp it off 1 time. Now this is going to give you a darker color, just like that. And that's how you get that two-tone. And it doesn't matter how this lands because it's supposed to be abstract, okay? So now let's go ahead and get this out of the way and attach it to the inside of the card with some snail. Just some nice, slow, even pressure so you get the full 1/4 inch of the adhesive down. And we're going to open our card up. And I love to leave a larger border with the inside of my card. So right there. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now let's work on the front. So we're going to move this away. And we're going to move in our scrap piece of paper. Now we're going to take, and I know I'm white on white, okay, but I believe you can see it. Okay, so now we've got, I'm going to go ahead and open our smoky slate. Hey guys, I'd love for you to comment of any of you that have used the new ink pads. What do you think? So what do you think about how they open? What do you think about how they feel? You know, what do you think about the whole thing? So just, you know, if you have a comment, just say so. I'm not changing out my whole collection. Whatever I have in the old ink pads of the colors that are still in, I'm using. But if you do order any kind of ink, it's going to come in the new style of ink pad where it opens like a compact, like that Granny Apple Green. Okay, so let's start with this. So we have this flat. I wanted to start with my Granny Apple Green, and I'm using a sponge. Okay, I just tap into the Granny Apple Green just a little bit. It almost looks like you have nothing on here. And then you want to take it off right here on the side. Take it off on your sponge. What I did was any little tips that hung out on the outside of it, I just sponged. So I took my sponge and I just started with my green on the outside. And you'll have to go back into it, tap it off again, you know, get it as dark or as light as you want. That's the greatest thing about sponging. You know, you can do variations of color to where you really get that ombre effect. And it doesn't matter if it overflows onto the flowers at all. This is something that you don't, just like the abstract impressions, you don't want it to be precise. Okay, so that kind of just gives us, I want a little bit more right here, an outline of our Thinlit die here. See what I've done with the green? I've kind of almost outlined it some. I missed one right here. Around the edges, kind of. But leaving room for color with your flowers, okay? I want that to be green in here also. And you're going to get inky fingers with this. You will get inky fingers, okay? Just like that. Okay, now, from there I'm going into my Berry Burst. And I'm going to tap in there and really take that Berry Burst off of your sponge. Now, you know, you can even use a sponge dauber if you wanted to. I happen to like these. I like the way they feel. It gives me a bigger grip, and if I want a smaller space, I just squeeze it. If I want my ink to be more concentrated, I just squeeze it. So I'm just coming in and around the green, and it doesn't matter if you get it on the green. It doesn't matter. That is what gives you a great ombre effect. Shaded, kind of chalk-like effect of this. And then you can always go back in with color if you haven't added enough, or if you needed to add more. If you wanted to just accent a little area a little bit more, you know, with some deeper color like the center of the flowers or something like that, you can do that also. So sponging is just kind of fun. You know, if you're crafting with your kids in the summer, they would love to sponge. I don't know if you've got the kiddos at home and looking for something to do. You can always get out some ink and have a little fun. So now in the smoky slate, and I come right here in the middle, and I'm just adding and letting it blend into the pink of the Berry Burst and the green of the Granny Apple Green, just like that. So that's kind of shaded in there. Now I'm going to go back in with my Berry Burst. I'm going to really squeeze this tight, okay, just like that. And I'm going to just get into the middle of these flowers just a little bit. Now I'm going to come back out, adding a little bit more deeper pinks. That color coach is right on, guys, all the time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because just adding that little bit of smoky slate on the inside of this, let it really kind of collapse in with beautiful ombre color. I hope you can see that. Okay, so let me move this mess out of the way. So yeah, I'd just like to know what you guys think about the new ink pads. Remember, when you close them, really squeeze it. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And this out of the way. Bring our envelope in. And let's bring our card in. Look at that. Look at that. From nothing to wow inside of 2 seconds. Now sometimes I use my my glue on my sponge. Let me get that real quick. Whoop. Just had it sitting over there on the other side. Sorry, I knocked into the camera on that. But have you seen me do this? I put a little binder clip on part of a sponge, and I take my Tombow and I put it on this sponge. Okay, I keep it in this little container. I got these at the Dollar Tree. Honest to goodness, there were 10 of them for $1. And I've used them. I've used them a lot because they hold small things. So that's always good for a crafter. Now with this method right here, let's see, you want the silicone pad. Let me get that right here. Our Stampin' Up! Silicone pad. Okay. Or, you know, you could put a piece of paper underneath it. But it might stick to the paper a little bit, but this is really easy to clean because if you get the glue on the silicone, you just take it to the sink and wash it off with water. So I just take this glue and I just dab, okay? Just dab it on the back of this intricate Thinlit and just add a little bit more glue on your sponge and just keep dabbing on the back. And see, and it's okay, you're going to get it on your silicone, it's okay. But it makes this very sticky. You could also use our adhesive sheets and send it through the Big Shot, you know, and make it a full sticker. But this works just as well. Okay, we'll move that to the side, put this away. And I use the same one over and over again until it gets like so bad to where I can't use it. You know what I'm saying? Because you could just throw it out. Okay, now we want to attach this onto our card as it cascades down. Now, I will say this much. When you dab glue like that, you don't have as much wiggle room, I promise you, okay, as what you would normally have when you use some Tombow. So basically, you know, watch it where you stick it. Okay. And then if you need some underneath this, you can just take your tip and go ahead, like right here. I think we need just a little bit right here. Probably didn't get that with the sponge too well, or you could even lift it up and put the sponge on it, but we're just gonna do that. Okay, beautiful. Now I made my thank you element right here already. I stamped my thank you, cut it out with my stitched oval framelit, used an oval framelit and used my granny apple green, attached that to the granny apple green with snail, and then put 2 dimensionals on the back. I'm going to just attach that right up here, and then I'm going to bring in our rhinestones and use 3 of the large rhinestones, just to give it just a little bit of something something. It always needs a little bling is always good. And I think this card, and we put one there in the middle of the flower, and I think these cards came out beautiful today. I just wanted to get on here and show you guys what you can do with this gorgeous framelit, how you can color it different ways. You can even just keep it white. Here's the other one that I colored off camera. Okay, here's the one that we're starting to color with the Stampin' Blends. Let's see. Here is the Stampin' Blends one. And then here is the one that comes with the free card kit, which, you know, with the free card kit, you can color it, of course. You don't have to put it together white. But here it is with that. Isn't that beautiful? And because that these are color bases, with the card kits, you will get an insert. And this little embellishment right here, because I can cut that out with the Big Shot. Remember, I can't stamp anything. There's the free ones. And thank you so much for being with me and coloring with me this morning with our Abstract Impressions bundle. And I'm featuring the gorgeous Thinlit from the Springtime Impression Thinlit dies. This absolutely, let me show this to you guys. This is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Please go over to my Facebook and watch that video on how I started with this and how we colored it with the Stampin' Blends last weekend. So I sure do appreciate you tuning in and watching, and thank you so much for all of your orders. I hope you guys are enjoying the new catalog. Thanks so much for watching. Happy crafting!